So we're just going to have to swing with these guys. And they will block, or they might not block. Okay. So this is probably the biggest down at the Capuchin you'll ever see in your entire life. 59 down at the Capuchin. That's pretty sick. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode. Today's video is dedicated to one of my Ko-fi supporters, Ikit, or Ikit Claw as you're named in Discord, so thank you very much for your donations, and yeah, this one's for you. So I've made this deck for Ikit based on the fact he wanted to see a Light-Paws deck, and it's a mono white auras build. So let's read Light-Paws. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura with mana value less than or equal to that aura and with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to Light-Paws, then shuffle it. So it's very wordy, but basically play an aura, get an aura that's cheaper from your deck. So very powerful. Let's see some of the auras that I've put into the deck. So with a deck like this, you want to be careful not to have too many expensive auras, despite how it may feel. You kind of want to go for big stuff to get smaller stuff, but remember, the bigger the enchantment you want to put on a creature, the higher the risk it is when the opponent then goes Doomblade, kill your guy. So I try to limit it, not too many big things, but Angelic Reward nevertheless is very good to give something +3/+3 flying. You've got Onsara's Wings, which is a good finisher as well, to give something flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, great versus red decks. And then to think outside the box a bit, I've gone for some creatures that are double duty, so not only are they creatures, but they also become auras in the graveyard. So if these die in combat, it's not too bad, because then you can recast it, attach it to Light-Paws after that. So you've got a couple cards like this, which die become useful auras in the graveyard. Don't forget to put Sram in, because he can draw you cards whenever you cast an aura. And All That Glitters, very important card. This is probably one of your best finishes in the entire deck. What I would recommend is do not get this out early. Put this out as your win con, the last enchantment, because if you play this early, your opponent is going to kill your Light-Paws or whatever creature this is attached to, because it's so crazy. One thing I've noticed this has insane synergy with is Smothering Tithe. So Smothering Tithe says whenever an opponent draws a card, if they don't pay 2, you get a treasure. Now, for each treasure you get, that's going to boost All That Glitters. And I've seen it in testing. This can get crazy. If your opponent is a blue control deck and all they do is draw, then if you have Smothering Tithe out, your All That Glitters is going to make your guy into a huge beatstick. I think I got my guy to a 16/16 once, and that was more than enough. Let's look at the body of the deck. So it's built somewhat unusually, but because of how mid-range to control-y people are these days in Historical 1 vs 1, you have to kind of build around that. So my initial build had very aggressive curve, not many high-end stuff, but then I started to phase a lot of control decks and people with loads of permanents. So I put a Planar Cleansing in just to deal with all the pesky stuff that white aggro normally can't deal with. And it might seem counterintuitive, but don't forget that you're not always ahead in Magic the Gathering. People forget this, that they don't put board wipes even in their own aggro decks because they think they're going to wipe their own field, and that is true most of the time. But if you are behind, then the Planar Cleansing can literally sway the game into your favour. And even also stuff like ECD and AO the Dawn Sky, just to give you a bit more card advantage. And even Cosmos Elixir to gain you some life and draw your card. This is probably a staple in the format right now. It's really good. It's just a shame the paper version of this card is not as good. So don't forget, if you like the deck list, check it out below. And once again, thank you, Ikit, for your continued monthly support. If anyone else is interested in seeing their decks come to life, don't forget to check out my Ko-fi account in the description below. There's a lot of different ways to support me and to get yourself seen if you want me to build one of your decks. So don't forget, leave me a like and a sub if you enjoy my content, and find me after the gameplay for the post-game review, where you can see my breakdown of what happened. Okie dokie then, let's get to the games. So just a quick thing before I start these games. You can now put preferences on all of your deck lists, avatar, pet and sleeves. So if you click on a deck just once, and then you can click on deck details, you can now select specific avatars for specific decks, and the same goes for pets. So you can see all the different pets you have. Actually, I didn't realise I had so many pets here. That's actually quite cool. I guess it includes all the permutations of each pet as well. But But yeah, I'm always going to stick with this cat. And yeah, and these sleeves as well. So you can choose which sleeve you want for which decks, which is kind of cool. Gives them a bit more character, a bit more flavour. But yeah, just thought I'd show everyone that, because it's a neat little feature of you into the aesthetic side of Magic. But yeah, let's get into some games. Okay, opponent goes first with Ishin, 2 heavens as 1. And our starting hand is... You know what, I've seen worse. We do have... Maybe it's a bit risky. No, I think I'm going to mulligan this. 2-lander, a bit risky. Okay, so we get another 2-lander, fair enough. But we do have the Swords to Plowshares, so this is quite nice as well. Let's get this out. We can use Swords to Plowshares to get rid of one of their creatures early if we need to. I'd like to get rid of Ishin. Triumphant Adventurer. Yeah, I think we get rid of it now, because the logic is Ishin doesn't really do anything by itself. He provides things for others. So let's go for... I think we go for SRAM first, just because we want to be able to draw cards and hit some lands. Light-Paws doesn't ensure us getting lands, but playing an aura onto SRAM could give us one. Nadal's Paladin. What do you guys think of this artwork? I think if you like D&D, then you'll probably really enjoy it, but I just like some colours, you know. I like to see some colours. So it's a 3/3 with Vigilance when it attacks Venture. They're going to Venture twice because of Ishin. So if they attack, that's going to be a 3/3 with Vigilance. We could flash in Sentinel's Mark to give our guy +1/+2. That would be a good block. And that's got Flash. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. So they might play Ishin. Oh, okay, this is actually really good. So unless they've got a Pathway Exile or something, or Swords to Plowshares, we should be good to go. Okay, so they're gonna... So let's let them Venture first, and then we'll go to blocks. Because we don't know which merge they're choosing. Create a treasure, okay. And what else are they going to go for? Target creature gets -4, -1. That is unfortunate. We could just tank it though still, couldn't we? Yeah, I guess we'll save 3 damage by just blocking this. That is a shame that we didn't get to kill it. So that's until their next turn. Okay, that's kind of annoying, but... I think we'll go for the Mangara here, just to get a bit of defense out, because they're going to be a very aggressive deck. Yeah, it's tricky. Creature on creature. They could have access to so many removal spells. Infernal Grasp. Okay, that is a shame. And an Angelic Exaltation. Ooh, that's a huge boost, isn't it? You're going to get double boost as well. Goodness, things have escalated quite quickly here. So obviously we don't really want to block that. Ayu the Dawn Sky. So they've already finished. They've already finished a dungeon, so we need a removal spell post haste. So we could go for this and then Helios Intervention. Yeah, so I think we'll pass a turn. Wow. It's not every day you see a deck subduing a mono white aggro deck, but there you go. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. See, now I want to save the intervention, but... see, if I could take a big hit here. Or I could wait. You know what, I'm just going to kill the Exalted thing now, because that's just way too much damage to take every turn. So hopefully this resolves. And then now they might not attack. Unless they want to get double triggers, but I don't think I would if I were them. The Nadara is a pretty decent pump for the entire team. Wow, they're still going to do it. So none of these are combat tricks this time. They will get to scry 1 and get a treasure or make something not attack. Okay. Well, this could be a trap. Some kind of pump spell. A Ganjo. Wow, okay. That is pretty bad. I suppose we'll go for the AO now. And then just leave up the blocker again. So yeah, they're really punishing us for just regular stuff, but so they chose to discard 0, which means these 2 cards must be really great. Okay, so the Selfless Samurai makes something indestructible. They're attacking again. Okay, so does this mean they have another trick? So they get to scry 2, and then they can create stuff or exile to play something. So many options when they have 2 at a time, it's kind of scary. Okay. So getting to play that instantly is pretty wacky, but are we going to get to kill anything here, or are they going to make it indestructible, aren't they, with the Samurai? Yeah. Okay. And an arena. Wow, as if they've got all that stuff. So maybe gain life, put that many counters on a creature. Let me go for the Danitha here. And then we have to pay for the Sentinel. Vigilance. Okay, that's fine. Let's put it on AO and then we can pay for that as well. And we can get another aura out. So yeah, we'll put the Sentinel's eyes on the Light-Paws. And swing with the Vigilance. Okay, so we could take this to the top with AO, but them drawing 2 a turn is kind of crazy. And now they can get a token that's a copy of another non-legend. So the only thing they can really copy, well, they can copy the Shaman or the Sentinel, but I'm not sure how useful that really is. Attacking with the Nadar. So they're really digging for that draw. So they're going to be able to draw 3 cards and then cast one of them without paying the mana cost. That is pretty terrifying, to be honest. Yeah, we just haven't had any removal. Mortify. So that's pretty bad. Okay, so they're going to kill the AO. Interesting. So let's look at the top 7 and keep something here. Total mana value 4. So we go for the Catilda or the Eye of Vecna. I think we go for the... You know what? I think I want to draw here. The Catilda's good, but just... Yeah, getting the sword on Body and Mind as well is pretty crazy. It's tempting to block this because it's actually getting on my nerves a bit. But I'm not going to because I feel like he's already got the value anyway. Okay, sword, that's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. Although that is a damage trigger, not an attack trigger, so... Now we have to pay 4 for each non-creature spell. So let's see, we definitely need a board wipe now. Or some kind of answer for all these problems. Let's pay. Okay. So we can't go for the vampire and something else. So maybe we can go for the Light of Promise here. And I won't pay for that, obviously, because I can't. So what could we go for? That's good. +2/+2 lifelink first strike. That could be good, as long as I don't have any removal. And then the Luminarch Aspirant as well. Okay, we'll pass the turn. Yeah, they're getting so much card advantage here. They have 5 in their hand now. They drew 3 last turn. This Nadar has done so much work for them. It's Harley, okay. Oh boy. Well, weirdly enough, I actually played this deck last night in Paper Commander and I had a Natalie out. And believe it or not, somebody stole this from me, attacked me with my own Natalie, and you'll never guess what card he got off the top. He got a flippin' Ulamog. And because it's a cast trigger, he managed to exile 2 of my own permanents. So he basically stole 2 of my creatures and exiled 2 of my things. It was incredibly painful. But, yeah. Attacking with just a 3/3 to create some treasures, okay. That's kind of weird. Is it weird? First strike lifelink, first strike lifelink, so we just gain 8. And we get some counters, okay. Put that many counters on this creature, that's pretty wacky, isn't it? So they could just have a removal spell, obviously, but we're going to be able to swing in for quite a chunk here. Let's scry to just see if we can get anything useful on top. That's not going to cut it. So we basically have our own Phyrexian Arena, but not quite as good. Oh, ECD. Oh, okay. So if we attack... We've got First Strike. What can they do? I think we attack with both. First strike lifelink, what exactly can they do against this? It's pretty crazy, actually. See, the scary thing is because they have, you know, white and black, they, you know, our big creature doesn't really matter too much. But I think we also have to just go for the ECD here. Kill the Atali. And let's see what they've got. So let's put something on the new mark because I think, you know, they've got enough reason to kill these other guys. Looks like the arena is going to slowly start to kill them as well. So if they board wipe, they lose all their things. We have got the ECD to return something as well, so as long as it's not like a mass board wipe, like to kill all non-creatures as well, we might be okay. What removal have they used currently? So they've used Mortify and a Grasp. So they've used 2. Paladin class. Oh, this is risky. Cold Steel Heart. So they could just be baiting me to the maximum. This synergy is actually insane, isn't it? Light of Promise. Whenever you gain life, put that many count. I've just never used this before, but it seems to work quite well here. The ECD going off is going to be nice as well, because it makes all their spells cost 2 more. Also, the fact all their creatures come untapped is really nice with the Radiant Restraint, so don't forget this. It means that your attackers can get in a lot easier. So it's one of those abilities that you don't really think about, stuff coming in tapped, but it is mega important. So I will use the Maze Mind Tome to scry here, just because, yeah, don't need that. I'm looking for more aggressive plays. So yeah, pay again. Dawn Evangel. Oh, and a Wanderer. So whenever a creature dies, if it's an aura is attached to it, return creature with mana 2 from your graveyard to your hand. So we have a SRAM. So so we can't get rid of anything on board. So we're just gonna have to swing with these guys. And they will block, or they might not block. Okay. So this is probably the biggest Danitha Capuchin you'll ever see in your entire life. 59 Danitha Capuchin. That's pretty sick. So what we could do is just don't commit to the board anymore, because I think we're just asking for trouble here, aren't we? Yeah, we're just asking for trouble. We can always flash in the Wandering Emperor. They could just be the most patient player in the world, and they're just waiting for me to commit more just so they can blow everything up. So as I said in my deck intro, what are the odds of them having a board wipe in an aggro deck? We'll see. I mean, it seems quite low, considering they returned this Alpha Samurai. But then again, they could sack this to make this indestructible. Heiko Yamazaki, so they can return artifacts from their graveyard. And a Bellows Breath Ogre. When it attacks, it deals damage equal to its intensity to a target. Then it goes up by 1. All tapped. Okay, so they're going to equip that. So we've got 3 creatures. Do we just make another creature here? They've got 7. I think we do the most expensive thing we can, which is the Wandering Emperor. And then now we can use her to exile. I think we exile the Yamazaki because that can get artifacts into play, and I don't want them to get a Sentinel back.
My judgment.
We'll even gain more life. Okay. So draw another card. Oh, Banishing Slash. Oh, I think we've won it then. I think we've definitely won this with the Onceros Wings. They don't have any flying blockers. So yeah, let's do it. 62-62 fly, here we go. Oh, beautiful. That was an epic game. Okay, we go first against Gigantha the Wellspring, so they're going to be a 5-color deck. But we don't really know what kind of deck this is going to be. There's quite an ambiguous commander. I think we start with the... We'll start with the Argelic Grange, because we don't have 2 planes in hand yet, so we want to get the tap land out as soon as we can. And then I think we also go for the Cold Steel Heart here. So until the opponent plays a few spells, we don't know which direction they've gone in. Could be an enchantment build. So let's go for the Light-Paws. And I suppose we could just Curse of Silence their Gigantha. Just to make it cost a little bit more. And then we can also find something for Light-Paws. So the Sentinel's Eyes comes out here. We could also go for the Radiant Grace, but we're not going to get rewarded for this yet, so don't think we need to actually do this. Also, if Light-Paws gets killed, we'll lose the Radiant Grace, although it will flip. I'm more interested in having the power boost and the vigilance here. Oh, so it's a shrine build? Gigantha Shrines. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm used to seeing the Kenrith and the Kyodai versions. Okay, let's start getting aggressive then. Shrines are a little bit slow. So what could we go for? Move for the commanding presence, that way we can make an extra attacker for the following turn. So as you can see, this can get very big very fast. Obviously they are 5 colours, so they're going to have access to a lot of removal spells, which we will probably see some of. Oh, so here comes Calyx. So Calyx is probably going to exile the Light-Paws here.
Provides me with fascinating new experiences.
Yeah, that is a shame. We do lose a huge stack.
You from this world.
But luckily we can just kill the Calyx. So let's attack the Calyx here with the 1-1. And then go for the Light-Paws again. And yeah, let's get another planes as well, just so we can smooth out our land drops. So this In Search of Greatness looks like it could be really powerful in this kind of deck, playing things for free. Oh, so we get a Redain. So Redain could be nice to stop them casting huge board wipes. So I think I will actually do this here. And then we can go for another aura. This time I'm happy to go for all that glitters. And yeah, let's pump her up even more. Don't think we have any more enchantments at 1 cost. Yep, so fail to find. Swinging for a fair amount there. So they're at 7. So any board wipe they have that costs 4 now costs 6. So just fingers crossed they don't have one. Because the Redain makes their stuff more expensive. Dryad. Interesting. Oh, this is perfect. We top decked a destroy enchantment spell. So if we kill the Dryad here, we should be able to just swing in for the win. Let's pump up just a little bit more. And yeah, that was pretty satisfying, beating a 5-colour deck. Very nice. Okay, opponent goes first with Hamza, Guardian of Arishin. This is going to be a counters based deck. And I would put my money on it that this is Legend VD's build, because whatever he builds is very popular. And you never see these kind of decks, because everyone's using mythics and rares. So I think I do want to mulligan this. Yeah, well, I don't want to mulligan this because I'll just get into 6. That would be terrible. But at least we do get the 3rd land, which is going to be important to curve out. Cold Still Heart. Okay, so oddly enough, this is a slow start for both of the aggro decks. So let's start with the Light-Paws. White. So if we destroy this, they won't have access to white mana. Not that we have a way at the minute, but... So if you've not seen Hamza, he costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a counter on it. So this can be a 2-mana 5/5. And the creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a counter on it. Very powerful. Anything that reduces stuff. Also, weirdly enough, this is a Commander Legends card, which means that Wizards has complete authority over being able to do this. I'm not sure why they haven't done it for more things, to be honest. Let's Glass Cast, get this ooze. Let's get it off the field. And then go for the Sentinel's Eyes to apply a tiny amount of pressure. And we'll go for the Radiant Grace as well. So it's a decent hit at 4. But we have to be careful because obviously with their white mana they can have access to many styles of kill spells. We could be seeing a Swords to Plowshares. Maybe something else. Or maybe they're just being really unlucky with their lands. A bit like us. Hopefully we get a land in our turn so I can go for the Cosmos Elixir, because this is just amazing. Just drawing you extra cards. Evolution Sage. That's quite a scary card if they had things with counters out. But for now, looks like we're kind of safe. 4/3 Vigilance. Okay. So I think there's 2 options. We go for Fateful Absence, Portable Hole, which is the more aggressive play. Yeah, I think we do this. So we kill this because proliferation on a land drop is kind of horrendous. Opponent's using two different types of lands here, which is kind of crazy, but hurts my soul slightly. Maybe there's a reason for having Snow Forest. Ooh, they're going to fight them. Cheeky. Okay, fair enough. So that comes in, making our opponent's creatures come in tapped, and then we can portable hold their mana source here. So that might stifle them for a bit longer. But yeah, we also need mana, so we're in a very similar boat here. Guess we can get for Catilda at least something. Oh, we hit the mana, so we should be good for a while. Let's try for the Cosmos Elixir. I don't feel like they have Artifact or Enchantment removal because they would have gone for the portable hold to get their mana rock back. So another green. If I Vecna, just because I really want to hit more land drops, please. And we luckily got one. Yep, I'm going to save that aura for later. For now, I'm happy just to hit for 2. Oh, baby. Drawing so many cards here. And people said Mono White didn't have access to draw. Well, here we go. This is this is awesome. Hatleel's Intervention is tempted in killing that, and I think I will just to use my mana, to be honest. Galaxy Uprising is really powerful. No, I'm not going to pay. Let's go for Light-Paws. Put the eyes on her. And yeah, no more 1-drops, but we get to swing. Yeah, that was pretty lucky. Unfortunately for the opponent, they didn't get any white mana, which is very weird. That was very weird. I guess Arena just being a bit of a dick there to them, but yeah. Moving on then. Okay, Mono White versus Mono Red. Should be a cool matchup. So, starting hand, not tremendous. You know what? I'm going to keep it because Mangara. So whenever she attacks, choose a creature, roll a d20, get that many copies. Well, if you roll 1 to 14, you get a copy. If you roll 15 to 20, you get a copy, but you roll again. Pretty good. Pretty good. The artwork is very reminiscent of Doctor Strange. And when he uses all his illusion magic. Boots of speed is good. Okay, so we hit a land drop. If we go for Light-Paws, they could just lightning bolt her. So I think we go for the Eye of Vecna first. And land is exactly what we want to see versus red. Because we want to use Day of Judgment eventually. Anax is going to be a pain in the brain. So, Anax. Oh, Anax. It is an enchantment. Yeah, let's kill him now. I think we just want to get him out of the way. They do get a 1-1 out of it. But better a 1-1 than 2-2. So, yeah. And here comes Delina. And I think this is a window. Yeah, this is definitely a Day of Judgment window, this is. A 6-mana Delina doesn't feel so good all of a sudden, does it? I don't think. Demanding Dragon. So this is going to deal some damage. And yeah, I'm going to pay because I'm going to just kill it now with the Fateful Absence. Shall I kill it now? Or wait? I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. If she copies this, then things are looking bad. Okay, so they're just going to swing in, so yeah, I'm just going to kill it then. I really don't want them to copy that. Way too devastating. What else they got then? Delina? Rage Forger. Comes in, put a counter on each other shaman you control. Whenever creature you control with a counter attacks, you may have that deal 1 damage. Ooh. It's pretty cool. Hahaha. Authority is quite nice as well. Do we go for authority? Yeah, go for the authority. And yeah, we'll go for Mangara, why not? Not too bothered if they get a couple copies of this. Mangara's got lifelink. Gives us a couple ways to draw as well, pretty handy. If they cast 2 spells, we draw, and if they attack with 2 things, we draw. Soulseer, of course they have the 5 mana, 5 damage effect. Sure thing. Okay, so that's 1 removal spell down. They haven't played these 3, so these are probably more removal spells, correct? Okay, well, let's go for Maze Mind Tome. And then we'll pass back to them. We can flash in the Wandering Emperor. If we want to exile this attacker. Thrill. Thrill. Sure. Wow, they discarded the Tan Razor Tyrant. Okay. That's a very powerful one. And a Neheb. Delightful. Oh, we could just exile the Neheb actually. Maybe that would be better? Curious. Maybe go for the Omen here. Hey, let's go for the Omen first. We'll block with both the tokens, and then in our turn we can just exile the Neheb. I mean, they could just kill one of these with a lightning bolt or something if they're really desperate. No? Okay. No problems. Let's scry just in case we get something on top that's super bad. A land? Not really interested in that land in particular. Let's pay though. Ooh, Catilda. 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they attack and get a couple even ahead. What's... You know what, I'm just going to play it safe. Play it safe again. I'm just such a coward. But they've got haste. So if we go for the Planeswalker now, it's just going to die, isn't it? Without any blockers. Okay, so now we go for the Wandering Emperor, because I think they would have played differently if not. Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's a shame. I was looking forward to see where that was going, but oh well. Hello and welcome back to the post-game review, where you can find what I thought of the games I had with this general. So Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice, I think is a really powerful card actually. You don't have to go like balls deep with all the smaller enchantments. You can go a bit more mid-range to long game with these bigger spells. Obviously, it just depends on what kind of deck you want to build, but I prefer the mid to long game just because against control decks you have more of a chance. Because if you're just going full aggro, against other aggro decks, that's perfect, right? But then you have to account for the fact that not everyone's going to be using what you want to use. And when you're goldfishing or pretending to like play out hands and scenarios in your head, you have to account for all enemy types. I think that's one misstep people make, is when they make a deck, they only really consider one type of opponent. Like a pitfall that even I make is I probably don't put enough graveyard hate in all my decks, and I think each deck should normally have a bit. But yeah, in this particular deck, yeah, there's no graveyard hate really, which is probably a bad idea, especially when you're facing Muldrotha decks, which seem to be a lot of. But yeah, this deck actually did really quite well today. It's quite fun. Being able to two for one every time you aura yourself is awesome. Maybe put a few more 1-drops for the aura side. Curse of Silence doesn't work, just in case you're wondering, because if you get Curse of Silence out with the trigger, it won't be able to enchant Light-Paws because it's an illegal target, because it can only enchant players, so just keep that in mind. You can't cheat this out. And I've only got Radiant Grace and the Sentinel's Eye, so maybe you want a couple more 1-drops, auras. But yeah, apart from that, it's quite smooth sailing. Quite a good win rate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget, the deck list will be in the description below. Don't forget to drop me a like and a sub. And if you are so inclined, take a look at my coffee donation page. But yeah, until next time, see you guys later. Bye. If you enjoyed watching this video, why not try some of my other videos on my channel? And don't forget to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button for more content like this.